I always get this part confused.
You have your notes, by the way.
I have my notes, Sim. I have my notes. Go on, Mike. I think you're about to give me a compliment, potentially.
Oh, yes. Airplane mode.
That's Sim being a dick. I'd never put mine on airplane mode. I like to challenge him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mike.
He's your flight attendant.
Sim is exactly what I am.
And I'm Miss Alec Baldwin.
First of all, can I tell the Uber story?
Yes, please do.
Wait, can you first introduce our lovely guest here?
Hey, everyone, dear sweet listeners, we have Mike Birbiglia on the show tonight, and I'm so thrilled. I love his movie. I love his work. I've been a big fan of yours. When I told everyone at work today at Mom that you were on the show, everyone went, "What?
Really?
Yeah." And so, and my brother too. I spoke to him earlier, and just know that you are loved.
That makes me feel so good because I always feel terrible in Los Angeles, and I feel like I'm universally disliked by show business.
Really?
I just feel that way because I feel like in this town, it's hard to not feel like a commodity. Like you're viewed as how much you're worth to your agents and lawyers and managers at any given moment. And then I often just feel like I make independent films and one person shows like I'm not worth much to anybody.
Well, know that that's not true, but also know that that I have definitely sometimes I felt like an aging thoroughbred in this town, which
is hilarious, of course.
Where it does feel like
you're not aging. I don't think you've aged since I've seen you.
You might need glasses.
A film,
but
your first film. How many years ago. My wife and I reference you constantly from Lost in Translation. Constantly. As a matter of fact, the part of Don't Think Twice where and I've never said this in an interview, and I almost embarrassed because it's almost like a rip in some ways. The part where they meet the woman who's on Weekend Live at the bar.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I follow you on Twitter. He's like, I follow you on Twitter. And like there's like a spark between Keegan's character and the woman who's on Weekend Live at the bar. That's like a little bit ripped from that Lost in Translation scene.
Interesting. I can see that now.
Because my wife and I obsess over like that's such a true to life dynamic that you guys have in that moment. And it's like the way you guys play it is so real and so painful.
This is a long conversation, but that playing that role was I was pretty new in town, and I got cast in that role, and I was sort of floored, more than floored, that I actually got cast in it, and then when I got to Japan, I felt like, oh my God, I'm so huge. Everyone's playing their characters way down here.
Oh,
and I thought like I am not a part of this movie.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
But I was still sort of adjusting to the idea of who I was position wise in the movie, because it hadn't been fully explained to me that I was like, I wanted to be atrocious and obnoxious, but I also I sort of had empathy for her, and as I do all kind of the characters I hope that I play. And anyway, whatever, we don't need to talk about my performances. The people, our sweet listeners, will get mad.
No,
like,
what do you mean?
Why would they get mad? They're tuning in to hear about you.
They love
right,
you already?
they are. Yeah, exactly.
I know, but
that was their buy-in. The buy-in is they like you, and then the double down is they love you.
But I felt really vulnerable making that movie, because I knew that that playing a character that was going to be mocked, and that was the job of the
right. I feel that way a lot. Well, I feel that way in Trainwreck because I play Amy's brother-in-law, who's like kind of a loser.
Amazing.
Yes,
and it would be tough because every day at work, Amy, who's an amazing improviser and person, would be like, "You're a loser," in like 1,000 different improvised ways that after a while don't feel so improvised. And I would come home to my wife and I'd be like, am I a boring loser? And my wife would be like, you're not boring. And And I was like, that's not the first full sentence.
No, but
But you felt like that a little bit.
I did. I felt sort of widely hated, and then after the movie came out and became such a huge success, and I was so proud to be a part of it. But I did have one moment of victory. I was at like Ralph's, and the checkout guy said,
By the way, sorry to burn you on your own show, you didn't have one victory.
Thanks, you're right. No, it was
Of like one of the most popular films of the last 20 years that you have an awesome part in, you didn't have one victory.
That's true.
And I'm leaving.
But this checkout guy said, I thought you were the only likable character in that movie.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And
wow.
I felt like, he heard that poor, obnoxious character, and he's somehow related to her, and I just, it just felt so good.
It's sweet, but even like, I feel like all of your comedy is very vulnerable and true, even when it's outside of yourself. Like, even like how, like, I feel like the greatest gift that my mom gave me is that my mom she's not a comedian, but she's like willing to be the joke. Like, she's willing, like, if people like goof on her, like, she plays into it and she heightens the game.
Her heart.
And I feel like you're like that.
That's me on this podcast, by the way.
Yeah, like she modeled it after Sim.
But does she ever feel
predated it.
bad if like the family's around at Thanksgiving dinner, and people are sort of ragging on her? Does she ever feel like I might go into the kitchen and cry, or is she?
I think she's comfortable enough in her own skin that like she's just kind of a beloved family member she kind of owns the beta role in the family.
What does she do that's like that people rag on her about?
She'll be like one of the things that she'll like, instead of saying like the phrase like hell, she'll say like fun. She'll be like when I was a kid,
fun.
Yeah, it's like an old timey saying. So like when I was a kid, it would be like fun, you're going to the mall. And I'd be like, yeah, like fun, going to the mall. Orange Julius, bowling, fun. But you know, we make fun of like phrases she says and things like that. But she like really sticks to her guns, and she just is who she is, which I'll compliment you again to say like that. I feel like that's what I try to do with my comedy, to try to like leave the vulnerabilities on the outside, to sometimes be the joke of things. I mean, certainly my character in Don't Think Twice is ridiculous. Like Miles is like, he's like bitter and he's a womanizer and he's all these things that are like unlikable. But like you said, you try to find the humanity in the character, so you love. But House Bunny's like that too. It's like you're willing to be this kind of outrageous character, but in a way that we relate to.
Well, thank you for saying that. But I do think one of my early lessons in Hollywood was the only way that, at least if I wanted to pursue comedy, was the idea of abandoning vanity and like
absolutely.
sort of, and just like, okay, I'm gonna make an ass out of myself. And I made the mistake early on of reading reviews of this
brutal
movie, and one of the reviews was like, I think that Faris is as dumb as she acts.
Oh my God, no.
And but the positive.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, like I had to sort of. I would clearly still remember it, and I'm clearly still bitter.
Yeah.
But I had to sort of warp it around in my head of like, okay, if I don't embrace the idea of sincerity of character and embracing sort of the, I don't know, flawed personality, then I'm not going to be doing my job well, and I won't get a ton of reward. And also, this is the only way I guess I can make money, because nobody's cast me as like the brooding, girl who's wandering around Czechoslovakia in search of a lost love. I'm still waiting for that.
I had that. I'll cast you as that as soon as I write it.
Okay, perfect.
It's gonna be super hysterical.
That's a great plot. Somebody's gonna jump on that.
I just need a lot of good lighting.
But I had that with Trainwreck, where my hometown newspaper, Boston Globe, called me Brie Larson's blob of a husband.
Oh my God!
No,
Blob?
you're kidding me.
Blob?
That's not even complimentary describing food.
Oh.
Like if you were like, that's a blob of mashed potatoes, you'd be like, not so fast. That is a flourish of mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
It's rough. Reviews are rough.
Reviews are rough.
But you've been getting some incredible reviews. So Don't Think Twice has like what 100% Rotten Tomatoes. Right now?
Yes, and it's such
But is that
great
like
movie.
is that a record? It has to be record or tied for a record, right? How many other movies have 100%? You're there. You're right at the top of every movie of all time.
Yeah, I feel lucky about Don't Think Twice. Like I feel like it's one of those, and you probably had this with projects where you're like, well, like there's so many ways for movies not to work.
Yeah.
Like they can not work so many ways, and then like every once in a while you have one, and I feel like that way about this is like the cast worked, everyone loved each other, the crew worked, everyone loved each other, everyone knew each other's name, they liked coming to work, and it just worked. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if it'll happen again.
Watching your movie, which is hysterical and unbelievably moving and touching, I had that feeling of extreme. I had like a tidal wave of jealousy. It's like, man,
you were telling me that too during the conversation.
I really want to be in this movie.
Aww.
I really want to play with these people. They're so talented, and it's so moving, and such a, like the artist's story, and especially in comedy. And so anyway, now I'm really mad. Would you cast me? Would you ever cast me
in the future? But in the past, I couldn't because you're too famous.
Oh, I love you for saying that, but
I see
no.
what you're saying.
No, that's really kind of you to say. I think that's the most generous thing anyone's ever said to me.
Well, I always say like
might be very untrue.
I always say like I got to work with Chris Gethard and Tammy Sager, but like if I had made it in the studios, they would have been like, so we're thinking Claire Danes and John Cryer, and I'd have to be like, okay, like I wanted to make it real people who were lesser known folks in that universe, so that kind of like the movie. I mean, honestly, like kind of like the movie Once, which is like one of my favorite
movies of all time. John Carney, amazing. And
then I feel like I get away with it a little bit with Keegan being famous because you want him to be.
You expect that he's the guy to get the and
then you were
Weekend
like, he should get it.
Weekend Live.
When he gets Weekend Live, when he gets the Saturday Night Live equivalent, you're like, he should.
He's the guy that
one
should
of the greatest sketch comedians of all time.
Right. It makes sense.
And everyone plays their role so beautifully because even though he leaves your troupe, everyone, there's so much love between everybody. You really root for the troupe and for the idea of a creative family in general.
Yeah.
And it's really moving.
But if we work together, I'm gonna do what I did with this cast, which is I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna go around your agent. I'm gonna call you.
Yes,
and I'm gonna
please
say,
do.
I need you to fly yourself to New York 3 weeks early and rehearse scenes off the books.
Oh my God, it'd be so much fun.
We did like improv workshops together. We did all these like bonding exercises.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
See, by the way, she would love that. She would completely love that. It's all she likes to do. And we're going to do some improv with you later on, but that's what she loves. She does it whenever we're not recording, she's doing improv with people just because that's what she loves to do.
I'm so obnoxious is what it is.
That's what I'm all
How did you assemble this cast? How did you know this is the cast that you wanted? What was the process like?
Well, Chris and Tammy are people I improvise with at UCB all the time. So I had them in mind. But like I said, we would have readings at my house. And like I had like 10 readings of the script, like different stages over the course of like a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris and Tammy would always read those parts. And I would have to be like, I might not be able to cast you because we don't have financing yet.
Right.
So I don't know if they're going to let me, whoever it is going to let me.
It was nice you were honest with them, though.
I know. Well,
that's always a hard thing, too.
It's brutal.
It's like, how do you incorporate your,
Yeah, it's rough. But, and then there was that. And then Keegan was the next one where I was in like a Key and Peele kind of rabbit hole. You know what that's like, where you just can't get out. You're just like, I can't leave.
It's so addictive.
Key and Peele universe. and then Gillian Jacobs was a recommendation. And same with Kate Micucci with Garfunkel and Oates. I just love that show.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought
she's unbelievable.
She and Ricky Lindholm do an amazing job together.
Yeah. Like that's what she is so specific. And then she does those drawings in real life. And so I was like Googling her and being like, what if instead of a novelist, she's a graphic novelist? And I called Ira Glass, my producer, and I was like, what would you think? And I showed him these links. What do you think if it's like these drawings instead of, Allison just being a novelist? And he was like, yeah, of course that's what it should fucking be. Like, of course it should be. And I was like, I didn't know you didn't like it before. Like, why so aggressive? But yeah, so then that, and then with Gillian, it was Lena Dunham recommended her because she had worked with her on Girls, and was like, she is Samantha. She is the part. And I was like, I'd never seen her play a part like that. She always plays outside of herself. And then she put herself on tape in her living room, that final scene between her and Jack, which I won't give away, but it's pretty heartbreaking.
Amazing scene.
It's so heartbreaking. Yeah.
And it's like her in her living room, and it made me choke up, like seeing it. My wife and I like watching it, being like, she has to do this. And so, yeah, I got kind of lucky, like that everybody was just like cool and kind of got it.
That's not luck. That's you.
It's not. It is luck, though, right? Because
No.
you've probably been on some movies where everyone is good except a couple people.
Yes, but I do think that I always resent it when people sort of throw that term in there, because it really is. It comes from the top, the leadership, and it also comes from creating great characters, knowing, trusting your gut. And hiring great people and working with great people. That's not luck. That's the magic. That's the rare magic that happens on occasion here in Hollywood. And that's why we're all here. And and I just love your movie so much. But yeah, I totally had movie envy. I was like, listen, I would like to be in Jason Bourne. Sure. Firing guns, riding on motorcycles, making a fucking shit ton of money. But what I really want to do is be a part of an improv troupe.
If you ever
Don't think thrice.
The squeakquel. It won't be your first squeakquel, but
I'm gonna be fired from the SNL, counterpart.
Yeah.
And come to your improv troupe, desperate.
That seems good.
I'm a heroin addict.
If you come to, I like it. If you come to New York, we have a regular improv show at UCB Theater in Chelsea.
Yeah.
For a while, I was doing it every Wednesday lately because of the movie. I've been out of town, but when you come to town, you should improvise.
Oh my gosh.
That would be amazing. I would love to see you at UCB.
I would be so terrified.
There's nothing to be afraid of because the audience paid $5. I always say that. There's nothing to be afraid of. You pay $5. It can be terrible, and they're still like,
well,
that was cool. Anna Faris was there.
But don't you think as long as you have
I would pay $5 just to see you walk around like Gristedes shopping for mangoes. I'd be like, yeah, I pay $5
These aren't
for that.
ripe.
That's good. Who do I pay? I'm taking out my wallet.
Mom, how do I test what a mango's ripe like? I didn't fucking cut them open. I'm constipated, Mom.
Where do I pay? Who do I pay, Sam?
I'm always an awful person.
I wanted to say my Uber up here.
Yeah.
You might cut this out, but my Uber up here. Did you guys hear this?
Wait, what happened with your Uber?
She goes, we're going up and up the hills, and it's becoming.
I like it that it's up and up.
I've been with my 15-month-old.
Like we're in the Swiss Alps.
I've been with my 15-month-old daughter all day, so it's up. We're going to the beach. That's the ocean. The waves come in, and they go out, and they go in, and then I meet adults in the world, and I still talk like that. But no, we're going up into the hills, and my Uber driver goes, do you live here? And I go, no. She goes, what are you doing here? And I go, my friend lives here. She goes, is he famous? And I go, this is where I fumbled. I go, I don't think so. Which is a dead giveaway that you're lying. I don't think my friend is famous. And then I go, to cover for it, I go, I think he might be very well off. The worst, there's nothing worse than talking to an Uber driver and they know you're lying.
Yeah, but why the grill?
I know why the grill. LA Uber drivers.
What's the difference between New York and LA Uber drivers?
New York Uber drivers are they're focused. They're trying to go to their destination. They're trying to get there fast. They're trying to hit a lot of fares. LA Uber drivers. Look, I'm I'm not doing this full time. I'm just trying to be a
Yes.
country singer. You know, and you're
In
like,
LA.
oh, you're like, oh, that's so funny because I hate country music and I want to just go to my destination and not talk. But it's a lot of like,
I have
LA
a
Uber
script.
drivers, a lot
I
of,
got a script.
there's a
I
lot
got
of
a script for
fishing.
you. I've been working on a script really hard.
Today,
Should I be your Uber driver?
All right, let's do
Yes,
this. We're going to get
yes.
into it right now.
Okay,
You knew we were
so
going to do some improv,
You're
right?
okay, so wait, you're going to let's say you're going to MTV for
yes, for
an-
general.
for general. Okay, what's your name? Are you still Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's the only part I play.
Okay. What's my name? I'm an Uber driver. I'm a young, aspiring screenwriter. My name is going to be let's just say Angie. No,
Hey.
that's not like quite aspiring. It needs to be a little more. My name is Angie, but I'm going to go by
Andy?
Angelina.
Okay. Hi, Mike? For Mike?
Hi, yes. Hi, Angelina. Hop on back.
Thanks.
How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm I'm staying here on the beach. My wife and I are staying with friends on the beach, and
Cool.
that's nice.
Where are you going? Let me just type in an address.
It's
1300
yeah,
Colorado.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's MTV, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I've dropped people off there before. That's really
okay.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Is
really
it
cool.
hard to maneuver?
No. It's totally easy. It's totally easy.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I've actually been there before. I hope you have your ID with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. No,
Pretty tight
I'm
security.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
What are you? Do you grow up here? Or?
No, but I am a screenwriter. I'm not an aspiring actress, but I am a screenwriter.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it is really cool. It's really cool, you know? I write what I know and sort of just
Sorry, I just
doing
have to
this-
take this
Oh,
call.
okay, that's cool.
Hey, how's it going? Hi, Una. Hi, Una. Hi, it's Dada. It's Dada. Hi.
Oh, do you mind buckling up your seatbelt?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hold on, honey. Yeah, hi, honey. Dada's coming home soon.
Tell her I said hi.
That's the
Angelina says hi.
that's the Uber driver.
Hi.
Her name's Angelina.
Oh,
No,
that's
we're
so-
not. No, I don't know her.
No,
I
it's so
don't-
cute.
no, it's
Oh my
not
God,
my-
that's so cute.
No, it's not my friend. It's just no.
Aw.
I just got in the Uber. She's just talking a
Yeah.
lot, and it's hard for. I'll
It's
call
so cute.
call you.
Oh my God, can I see a pic?
you. I'll call you.
How old?
I'll call you later.
Oh my
honey.
God, how cute. Is it so
okay.
great being a dad? You sound
I'll-
like a really good dad.
Okay, honey. I'll
You are
let me-
like kind of
can
the
I-
best
can I-
dad.
can I
Oh,
call
no,
you
you're
later?
married? Oh my God. So you're not
Can I-
unfaithful at all?
Can I call you later? All right. End scene. I want to tell a story based on that, which is I was doing a gig in Northern California, and in like a remote town, and I forget which town it was. It was maybe like
Eureka.
It was like Eureka or San Luis Obispo. It was like a small town, and I was flying to New York City through Los Angeles. So it was like a puddle jumper to Los Angeles and then to New York. And the flight was canceled, like often they are in these small towns. And I instinctually ran to the Avis rent-a-car. Because I was like, I'll just drive to Los Angeles.
I love it. That was
Get
your
on the
instinct.
flight.
Avis.
Yeah. I got to go to Avis, like OJ. Is that the OJ one?
That is good. Oh, no, hurts.
Hurts, yeah. And so I run to the thing, and I get to, never told this story before. I've always wanted to tell this on stage in some capacity, but never quite cracked it. But it's like, I end up in line, and I'm the last car available. It's like the run on cars. It's like the run on the banks from It's a Wonderful Life. You know, it's like everyone's like rushing to Avis and like, car, please, car, give me a car. Look at here, see, I'm in a car. and I get the last car. This woman behind me is like, are you going to Los Angeles? And I was like, yes. She goes, can I go with you?
Oh boy. Oh my
And
God.
I just go, sure. Like, what are you going to say?
What are you going to say? I would have done the same thing.
So I'm driving with this complete stranger to Los Angeles, like 4 hours.
That's a long
A
time.
long drive with a complete stranger who has no credentials, no background checks, and my wife calls.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
And it's like our scene. That's why I stopped. She goes, "What's going on?" I go, "I'm driving." I'm glad you broke on that because it's so extreme. She goes, "What's going on?" Okay, my flight was canceled. I'm driving to Los Angeles.
Meet Megan.
Yes. And
she's cool.
And it's like,
she's also like 340 pounds. Don't worry about it, honey.
She goes, "No,
sorry.
I'm glad you brought that up because
what else do you do? You can't be like, yeah, sorry.
So she go, I go, I'm in this car. There's only one car. And I wasn't going to throw her under the bus and be like, she forced me to drive with her.
Oh man,
like,
this is a pickle.
I had to be like, I was in the back of the line. This woman and I were in the back of the line together. Like, she's in the fucking car when I'm explaining the story. So I had to diplomatically say it as though she's in the right also, which she's not. And I go, so she and I are driving 4 hours together in a car. And my wife goes, "Is she pretty?" And I had to be like, we're on speaker. It's like, yes, she is.
Oh God.
Yes, she is.
Oh, this is so hard.
She is very pretty. And it's like, literally, it might as well be the script of what you say when you're cheating on your wife. Literally, like, you're like fumbling. You're like, I was in the back of the Avis line and I shared a car with this lady and she's gorgeous.
So, were you hesitant to answer the phone when you saw your wife was calling? Because I would have been super hesitant.
Yeah,
if Chris was calling, I would have been like, oh God, this is not gonna look great.
Yeah, but I find like the politics of phones with your spouse is so awkward inherently because it's like this thing of like, you don't want to leave it ringing like 9 rings. It's like, why wouldn't you pick it up?
Right.
And then it's like, and then there's a politics of if you're on the other line and you don't pick up and they know you're on the other line. That's a whole
Did you
thing.
ever think about?
So right.
Did you ever think about prophylactically calling your?
Why'd you use the word prophylactically?
Just calling her as like a preventative measure first, and just saying, "Hey, by the way, I'm
not that was not on the table. We were in a rental car immediately trying to catch a flight in Los Angeles. So we were like burning rubber out of there. Next thing you know, my wife's calling, and then I got to pick up. There's nothing I can do.
So wait, can I ask you, did you enjoy this woman's company?
Yes,
or
good question.
Did you find her?
I actually did. She had a good story about her sister. I'm not giving her away because I actually don't know her name. And so I'm not like telling tales out of school. She had this great story about her sister being in a cult in California.
That's pretty cool.
And that she had cut off the entire family and they couldn't get in touch with her.
Oh my God.
And it was like an hour of that. And it was kind of like one of those like stories
That's pretty cool.
This is
yeah,
cool.
it's not bad. It's not bad. So it was like this really in-depth story about about her sister. I mean, I feel terrible. It sucks. It's a sad story, but it also was pretty entertaining as far as I have no stake in the outcome.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? But I can't say to my wife when I get there, like, I met this woman. She was enthralling and gorgeous. So, and by the way, my wife is like literally, and I say this all the time, her observation was the thing that spawned the film. She's a, producer on the film. Like, she's a brilliant mind and gorgeous, like a bombshell, literally is like the most gorgeous, sexually appealing person I've ever known in my life. So I feel comfortable telling this story. That said, it sucks calling your wife and telling her that you're driving a complete stranger who is gorgeous and interesting in California for no reason that makes sense.
And was she ever upset? Was your wife ever ruffled by, were her feathers ruffled by any of it?
We got past it.
Oh, wait, so there was like a little bit of a tiff.
Well, there's a little bit of like, I mean, we weren't married at the time, and I feel like early in relationships, and my wife and I talk about this in my special, my girlfriend's boyfriend a bit, but like early in our relationship, my wife and I were both like, when we were dating, we were both like, this is not exclusive. Like this is not serious. Like we were both like hostile to being in love, like falling in love, and like
because you felt it would make you vulnerable, like
Exactly.
most people do.
exactly. And both of us were just like, this isn't anything. And like we had that. Jake Johansson has this great joke. I remember opening for him like when I was starting like 15 years ago, and he has this great joke that literally has almost no punchline, but it's just a great, like almost like a one word joke, which is he goes, so I'm in love. Fuck. And that's the whole joke. And I feel like I've experienced that a couple times in my life where you're just like, oh man, you must have experienced that when you fell in love with Chris.
Yeah, of course. Like you feel powerless over your own emotions, and that is. But I guess that's the story of life, and we're lucky if we get to feel that.
That's the give and take of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get more than you give for that, but it also is kind of like, okay, I'm powerless, like you said.
Okay, so now we are going to transition into a couple things. If you're ready, Sim, are you ready?
I'm ready. Of course I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Tim, by the way, thanks on the Keegan episode. Thanks for complimenting Sleepwalk with me. It's really sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Really
Oh my
sweet.
God. That's one of
We've
love
been
that. Yeah.
huge fans of yours forever.
Thanks.
That movie is incredible.
It's incredible, and I've been listening to you on This American Life for a long time, and you're
thanks.
unbelievable. And I have your book
Yeah.
upstairs.
Oh, my God.
She does have your book upstairs.
I didn't mean
I kind of want
to invite a barrage of compliments.
No,
I just
do you
wanted to
know,
point that out because
like,
I thought it was so
Do you
sweet.
have any idea how happy we
Yes.
are to have you here? We're fans. We're like we really want to invite people that we genuinely love. It's because there's so many shows that you'll go on. People don't even know anything about you. Or,
I know. What I want to
Yeah.
say. What I want to say is, I have this joke about like general meetings in Los Angeles. Is people?
good. I can't wait.
People come out of meetings and I've always said to my friends, like, if you have like a great meeting, like it's going really well, and you want to like tank it, like in a moment's notice, people are like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Just be like, can I call you when I'm lonely? And that meeting will end so fast.
Will you please use that later?
I will call you guys when I'm lonely.
We've got a general meeting improv for you later.
Okay, great.
Okay.
That seems great.
Okay.
Where do you want to go?
I feel like I want to call the show when I'm lonely. Can I call into the show on the phone when I'm lonely?
Okay, I know that you're married.
We'd love that. Can you please do that? That'd be amazing.
But we're gonna pretend like you're single. You don't have to play a character.
Great.
But
Great.
Would this, if you were single, would these be deal breakers? Okay. Let's say you're on a date with a gal. If they've never seen Star Wars.
Not a deal breaker.
Okay. If their parents still subsidize their life.
Red flag.
Oh, interesting.
Red flag for me. Come on.
Explain why.
I'm raising a daughter right now. And so I feel like I'm in tune with this idea of like, you want to be with someone and raise someone who can be self-sufficient and they don't need you ultimately. So I feel like when you're dating someone, that can't be the person that you end up with because they have some stuff to figure out first.
I like that.
Very interesting.
Okay. If she loudly proclaims she loves porn at a restaurant.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to go into our first little improv, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But we know that you're a genius at improv. And so I'm Kayla.
Okay.
You are Joel.
On a date?
Yeah. You're a video game designer in LA.
Okay.
We met on Tinder. Okay. So here we go. Hey, I'm Kayla.
Oh, hey, I'm Joel. Hi.
Cool. So you're on your profile it said you're a video game designer.
Yeah. It's more interesting than that though, because it's like I'm like a tester of video games. Like I get to play them all day. It's kind of like Tom Hanks's character in Big. You know how he tests out the toys.
I don't know that movie.
Oh, It's like
sounds-
it's it's kind of like in broadcast news, you know, the James L. Brooks film, how they're all.
I know that movie.
Well, it's like in.
I'm young.
Oh yeah. No, I can tell. I won't ask how old you are, but
I'm young. Let's just say that. I'm really, really young.
yeah, no, I get that. I get that. Maybe you could test out some of the video games.
That'd
with
be
me
cool.
someday.
I'd
Yeah,
like that. That's
yeah.
really cool that you do that.
Come to work with me. And...
I don't want to see you like have a workplace.
Yeah. Do you not? What do you do?
Well, right now I'm screenwriting. I'm doing a lot of different. I'm like an entrepreneur.
Cool.
You know. I
Cool.
do lots of like I'm starting my own makeup line. I'm also I live with my parents right now because I'm kind of helping like take care of them. You know.
Right.
So I also give back a lot.
What do you mean you get back a lot?
I give back a lot. You know, like
Oh,
to like the elderly and stuff.
that's great. Yeah. No, I
have a really generous spirit.
my grandmother's 90, so I try to visit her more often than not. Because it can always be the last
so sweet.
time. You know.
That's sweet. That's really sweet.
You have so many interests. How do you focus your time?
It's really easy for me to focus because I have what's called a laser focused mind.
What?
Yeah, I have what's called a laser focused mind, which means that I'm easily able to like focus in like on one thing when I really want to. The problem is, when do I want to do that? That's always been my problem.
Right. Is that a medical term or is that something you made up?
No. My therapist like told me that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what do you want to? You have so many interests. Like, what do you want to do long term? Like, what do you want to spend the majority of your time on?
Well, I really want to be. I'd love to be a singer.
Yeah.
I'd love to pursue.
Wow, you're a singer? Like, that's a totally different thing than the other stuff you
have
said.
a lot of different interests.
Right. It's
Do
almost
you
like
not,
you should.
Or...
No, I do. I'm just, it's hard to pay my bills. I'm still paying off student loans from University of Iowa. And yeah, no,
Like, how much in debt are you?
Well, like 30.
Oh, did you drive here or?
I did. Yeah. I have an Accord.
Oh.
Yeah. No, but it's nice. It's like souped up. It's not like one of the ones that like jumps up and down like on the wheels, the hydraulics, but it's like it's nice. It's souped up for an Accord.
Oh. I really like porn. That's also like one of my hobbies, and people are always like, "What? You like porn?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I like porn. You know, I've got a really open mind."
Yeah, like what kind of porn? Like
I like all different kinds of porn.
Because when I'm watching porn, I always wonder like, this probably isn't for women. Like it feels so male centric.
People always say that, but you know what? They're wrong, because once you put yourself into somebody else's shoes.
Right.
Like Atticus Finch told his daughter Scout.
Okay, sure.
I think that then you can really relate to all parties.
When did you read To Kill a Mockingbird?
Well, first of all,
like recently?
There's an audio. We went on a trip to Montana, and my parents put it on audio tape, which I think is actually just as valuable.
What do you mean they put it on audio tape? They recorded their own voices speaking To Kill a Mockingbird?
I don't know. They just had like a recording of it. Okay.
You mean they bought an audiobook? I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Can I take your orders?
Yeah, we're really, really hungry. I'm gonna have.
Would you like anything to drink first?
I'm gonna have a vodka gimlet on the rocks. Do you want anything?
Would you like anything?
I will do a cherry tequila bomb.
I don't know what that is exactly.
The cherry tequila bomb.
Is that like a grenadine and like tequila, and with some cherries?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, no problem.
Oh my God.
Would you like anything?
This is the worst.
Would you like anything to eat or start an appetizer?
I'm gonna have the broccoli poppers.
Broccoli poppers for you, and for you.
I'll have the clams, all the unopened ones.
Right away.
When you use all the unopened ones, is that a joke?
No, I like to really open them up with my mouth.
Wow. All right.
It's a challenge. I like to challenge myself in all ways.
Have you been in love before? I feel like you've been in love. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I've been listening to all these
That's such an interesting
love podcasts.
question.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting question. Yeah, I've been in love before, but I've had to break up with a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, because you feel like you're not with the right person.
Yeah, and also, they're so much in love with me, and I have to be like, back off, because it just never was quite right.
Wow,
You know
I feel
what I
like
mean?
I've been that person.
Which part?
Well, I've been the other person where I'm like, I'm so in love with you, and then they're like, back off.
I hope this is not where this is going tonight, because then I'm gonna have to break up with you in like a half an hour.
Oh God. No, I didn't know. No, and then sometimes I'm the cool person too. But like recently, I dated someone. Yeah, I met on Tinder also, and it was she broke up with me.
Was she mean? I hate mean people.
Well, she just wasn't returning my texts, and it was just.
Oh, that's so rude.
I know. Promise me that if you get my text ever, like any time of day, that you'll return it. Promise me. Promise me. When I'm lonely, if I text you, will you write me back?
Are you gonna watch me open clams with my mouth?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, I might chip a tooth.
Okay.
Then will you also respond to my text?
I'll respond to your text for the rest of my life if you respond to my text for the rest of your life.
I feel so confused. Why do you like me?
I just think, you're beautiful and.
No, I'm not.
No, you're like so beautiful, and not like in that Los Angeles way where like everyone's beautiful.
Everyone's
like
fake here.
Yeah, and like you're like really beautiful, like on the inside and out.
Really?
Yeah, like you're more like I feel like you're more beautiful on the inside than you are on the outside. And you're beautiful on the outside.
No way. No one's ever said that to me before.
We should just get a check. Can we get? Excuse me.
Vulnerable.
Yes, can I help you?
Can we get a check? I feel bad. We're just gonna take the drinks to go.
We're gonna take them to go.
You can't take the drinks to go, but I can. But you haven't received any of your food or drinks.
I know.
So you know what? If you want to leave, you can leave right now.
We're gonna go make love.
We're just cut the poppers. Can I just give you like $10?
Sure.
And just like X the check and say that we walked out on it.
Yes.
I feel like you're the
thank you
first
so much,
person who
James.
actually broke through my hard shell. You are the first person who did it.
Thank you.
So weird. Do you want to go back to my parents' place?
Oh my God. Yeah. I want to check that out. Is it awesome?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's in the Palisades.
Do we have to be like super quiet? Is there like a back entrance or anything?
Yeah, totally. Oh my God, my friends are gonna love you.
Scene. I'm calling Scene.
I know, I'm sorry.
By the way, if you don't call Scene, he will go on all night. She will never call Scene.
It's so sad when they agree to text each other back forever on their first date.
By the way, but there are people that are that lonely that need that, right?
Are we lonely though? Aren't we all fundamentally lonely?
Yeah.
Do you think that's ever happened on a date where two people are like, we are so lonely, can we just be together?
In the Tarantino film, yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right.
Isn't that True Romance?
That's True Romance.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. No, but really though, I don't know what it's like to date anymore. And I don't know.
Me neither. I'm post internet date.
Me too.
Or pre-internet date, whatever the term is. I never internet date.
When did you meet your wife?
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like so long ago.
Well, there was still internet dating, but not like there were like Match.com.
That's right.
No apps.
But it wasn't ubiquitous.
Yes.
It wasn't like the way people meet each other, which is what it is. What I perceive it to be now.
Did you date a lot before you met your wife?
Date that much. I found it to be off-putting because I would see like my comedy peers like just kind of like approach women at comedy clubs and stuff, like in New York City, the comic strip. I won't name names, but like guys who are really like smooth at this kind of thing, just being like, hey, blah, blah. And I did that once ever, and it ended so terribly, which is to say that like I dated this girl and this woman, and she, like we had like 3 dates, and it was like pretty mellow. didn't get super serious, but like we enjoyed each other's company, but it was very datey and never like super comfortable. And then the third date, she goes, "My mom Googled you and she approves." And I was like, "Oh no.
Oh.
Like, this is a disaster." Like, it's not like I'm well known, but I'm well known enough to be Googled
Right.
for someone to be like, to pass a judgment and to
Yeah.
kind of like send the link to their friends and be like, "What do you think, Mom?" I know, it was so painful. And it was, yeah, I hated dating because I was like, every time I was dating, I was always like, I would think what I wanted was to meet a ton of people and hook up a lot and all that kind of stuff. And then I would hook up with someone and then I'd be like, "Do you want to have coffee tomorrow?" You know what I mean? Like, it would be so desperate and like, it's lonely to use your word.
Well, I think that I don't know. I just was never great at dating. I was never great at like hooking up randomly, which I
Yeah.
kind of I wanted to be. I wanted to be the kind of person that could, sleep with somebody and just be like, call my friends the next morning, just like, "Oh my God, I totally fucking banged that dude last
Yeah.
night." But that's just somehow not in my
It's not
makeup.
your DNA, yeah.
And
I very much relate to that.
But what about when you achieved success? Like after Sleepwalk with Me and your stand-up specials, and all of a sudden, you're Mike Birbiglia, and when women on Twitter, like, do you ever get like any kind of attention from women? Like, how does your wife feel about that now that you're achieving some of that?
People who reach out are always sort of cautionary people.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being at like a club once, like many years ago, and this woman came up to me and after a show and was like, "You want to hang out? Like, when he's in town, like blah blah hangs out with me." Like, and I won't say the person's name, but like, I was like, I do not want to be the person who's named on your roster to the next person. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
There's something about like, if people like throw themselves at you, it's like, get out of the way, because they're like, it's like it can. I think
But they're doing that to establish their own credibility. It's like, hey,
there's
listen,
like my resume.
yeah, but here's my
is-
resume right now, so
Yeah,
you would
yeah.
fit right in. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's a lot of LA though too, don't you
Sure,
think?
of course,
Like, everyone
of course.
is sort of.
How do you find that,
Mm.
Tim? You're not chiming in on this. This is me and Anna like bearing our
Yeah.
souls.
Why would I have? There's no way I can chime in on this because it doesn't apply to me at all.
Are you single?
I'm not single.
No, and he's dating the most amazing woman, Amy, who's just the best. And I've known each other. We've known
When
each other
does
for a
this
long time.
podcast post?
No, but they're in it, and this is like
That's like a joke about.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
But I didn't get it.
I got it.
About
I got
whether
it.
they'll be together when it
Yes,
posts.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
It's so stupid. Sorry.
I know, it's good.
But he's been through a lot. I've been able to grill him about his like Tinder experiences and his social.
Went through a divorce.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I was part of that whole wave of when Tinder
Divorced
was Tinder.
dudes who are on Tinder.
Yeah.
Did you ever Tinder before you were divorced?
No.
Because
No.
I'm
He's
witnessing a
faithful
lot of
man.
that.
You wait
With
with your.
Well, I'm just hearing murmurs
right.
of people being like, "I was on this dating app, and this person who I know who's married is on it." Have you heard those lately?
all the time. But here's the thing: you can't get away with it because it's inevitable. You're going to find someone that you know because it all goes through Facebook. You're going to see a mutual connection somewhere, and someone's going to call you on it. It's not a good idea because it goes through your Facebook.
No.
Bad idea. Bad
Bad idea all around. But what was your experience on Tinder after your divorce?
Oh, this is so fun.
It was. Never really talked about this, but it was one of those things.
We're
where
saying a lot of things today that we've never talked about, by the way.
Kid in a
So don't think that
candy
you're
store
some
for a
kind
while.
of like sacrificial lamb, Sam. Don't act like you're better than us.
I was having a great time. It was amazing because you would.
Oh, it was?
The best. It was the best.
You'd go, okay, so would it be like that date just now with me and Anna's character? Like, would you go and meet a woman at a restaurant?
We'd always
And be
meet in
like, "We're
restaurants or
lonesome
bars
together"?
but it's awkward because you don't really know this person at all. You swipe right, you both like each other, you send 3 or 4 texts to each other, and all of a sudden you're meeting the next day at a bar for a drink. So
Aren't you meeting
in a
like
way,
that night?
Sometimes.
Often? Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
What are you
And
doing
Sim
tonight?
is amazing at not actually listening to people. So I'm sure you went on tons of dates with atrocious women just like Kayla, and you just checked out. You were able to like think about your baseball statistics.
I did that a lot, but you know what I learned early on, because after my divorce, you want to date a lot, and Tinder was the easiest thing to do. But what I realized was that I can't go to dinners with everyone anymore. First of all, it's really super
Oh,
expensive.
wow.
So you can't do that. So then I started just
You
meeting.
cut out the dinner.
I cut out
Yeah.
the dinner because
Wow.
you're on
Bold
these dates with women that
move.
you're not going to see
That's
for
a high self-evaluation.
Can't do it. I couldn't do it because it was super expensive. Because every time you go out to dinner in LA, it's what, $150 a pop every single time.
Sure, yeah.
So if you're going out 2 or 3 times a week, you're talking about $300, $450 a week.
Right.
Times a month that you're looking at $1,800 a month. $1,800 is like a lease on a Bentley. I'm not saying that I would rather have a Bentley than date, but the point I'm trying to make is that it's still very, very expensive. So I switched to drinks.
Drinks.
Not only because of the cost expenditure, but because
Okay.
the time expenditure. You're spending a lot of time with someone who you're probably not going to see again because most dates don't work out.
So what was
So if you
your
have
what was your
drinks
conversion
dates-
rate on the dates?
Oh
Like,
my God, what
hooking
do
up?
you mean by that? Okay, that's what you mean by
Like,
that.
Like, how much did you get laid?
How much you get laid based on how much you were like Tindering?
Investing. Yeah.
Okay, let's just say that I would have been better off spending that money on a really high class hooker.
And did you do that as well?
No.
that we know of.
That we know of.
No, most of the money was money you'll never, ever, ever see again. So the conversion was not very good.
So what would happen on the dates? You would go for drinks, and then after like an hour or so, you'd be like, "This isn't going anywhere," and you'd be like, "I gotta run."
No, I wouldn't really do that. You would wait out. You would wait out the date. You're not going to be.
Isn't
I'm
that
not going to be a
tedious,
dick about
though?
it. It's at times it can be tedious. The worst is because I'm going to be nice to whomever I'm with. So the worst is when she thinks that you have a connection, and I definitely don't. But
Like
I'm
a
going to
show
be nice
business
anyway.
connection. Is that what you mean? I don't know what you mean. Connection. What? Drugs? Oh, you have a connection between you. Okay. There's a love connection, as Chuck Woolery would say. Okay.
Oh, Chuck Woolery. And then they would text you and say,
So you
I
went to
had
see
a
if
great
there's
time tonight.
spark.
I always felt it was the whole thing about how do you tell someone that you don't want to see them again if they think they had a really great time. I always had trouble with that. First of all, I'm not saying that every single date there were a bunch of girls that I wanted to see again that didn't want to see me as well, but I'm talking about just from my standpoint.
The vast majority, Sam.
I agree.
The vast majority.
I'm not painting myself as this
was
player
the women
No,
guy.
wanted to see
you are
you
a
I'm
again.
not. I'm not.
You
I'm
are a
not.
catch. I'm looking at you going, you're a catch.
Oh, you're so sweet, Mike.
Oh.
Oh,
You're a great looking guy.
you're
I
so
know.
And you're
awesome.
a great talker.
I
You're
know.
basically this thing in Los Angeles that doesn't exist. Which is like, I always say to my female friends in Los Angeles and New York, if you're looking for love, move. Like, go somewhere
true.
else, because it's New York and LA. It's just filled with these
I was gonna
megalomaniac
say,
dudes.
can't be much better in New York.
No, it's not. And it's just like these dudes who are looking to like hook up a lot and never settle down and like pursue their ego to its end, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And you will be a casualty of that. I don't know. But I feel like if I met you, I would be like, oh, the antidote. Right?
I love
You'd
this
meet
guy.
Sim and
I
you'd
love this
go-
guy so much.
You go,
He's amazing.
this guy's perfect.
This is
I'm meeting all these slick guys and
Yeah.
they're jerks and they just want to hook up with me. And this guy seems like he's nice.
I'm gonna cut
and he's
this sound
smart.
clip and play this over and over again, every single day of my life, just so I can motivate myself.
To masturbate. I understand, but so did you? Sorry to cut you off, but did you meet your girlfriend Amy?
I met her on a Tinder-like app called Hinge,
Oh,
which is
okay.
not quite like Tinder. It goes.
Hinge is like a sexual dating
it's a
website
sexual
where
fetish website.
you
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
intercourse and then you hang off of them and rock like a hinge while you have sex. Is that what it is?
That's what we did on our first date. That's a prerequisite. You
You
have
go,
to
do you want to do the
Yeah.
hinge?
right. Do you want to do the
And then
Hinge?
say yes or no.
That's how you swipe. If you want to do the
swipe
Hinge, you
yes.
swipe yes, and then you both do the Hinge together.
Oh, we're doing the hinge. Oh, it worked. I got to call my mom. She approves.
I'm imagining you guys on a ropes course.
Yes, exactly.
The Camper Kyla. we can talk about that later. But no, but Sam met his most amazing
Amy.
girlfriend. Yeah, Amy,
Yeah, no,
and
she's amazing. She's
fucking
incredible.
She must have been
She-
psyched
yeah,
when she met you.
She's really awesome. She was so psyched. No,
That was way too sincere.
No, but it's no,
She
but
was
it's true.
so psyched.
She's awesome, and I've known Sam for a really long time, and I'm just really happy that he's found
How
a
long
great
has it been?
relationship.
it's been close to a year.
Oh.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, you mean our friendship or
Oh, our
Wait,
friendship.
Did you know
16
her
years.
before that?
no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
You've
no.
known
No.
each other.
Yeah,
years?
one of our first. Yeah, she
I
was one
love
of my
it
first
that
friends
you're
in LA.
impressed by that. Yeah, because it's
Wow.
true in this.
I love it that
town-
you care. First of all,
Yeah,
That's a long time.
we have
It
so much
is
to
a
talk to
long
you
time
about, and I
for-
feel like
a friendship.
So what'd you meet on? Did you meet on work at work?
Nope.
no, we met through mutual friends.
Yep. At
Yeah.
a bar.
Was
Uh-huh.
it a date?
Nope.
No, she was dating somebody some guy at the time, and
We've
she ended
always-
up marrying him. We went.
Yep.
Then she
Oh.
got divorced, and
And we just
yeah,
stayed friends.
We stayed friends, right?
for better or for worse.
Can I
That's
ask?
how it works.
So you can cut this out. Who are you divorced to?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm divorced to. Why do you?
can cut this out.
Is it so
No,
like
I'm just
it's
so-
of
I'm
disbelief
so
system
out.
or whatever?
I think
Leave me.
I think yeah, it's surprising that
That's
it's
sweet.
surprising to me that you are divorced, but that's not a judgment on people who are divorced. I'm just
Well,
surprised.
No, but you're saying that as a compliment.
Yes.
Like, why would someone? Right. I'm.
that's really nice. No, I mean, I think, I really wanted to. I love the security of relationships in general.
Yeah, sure.
So therefore, I've always tried to make a bad thing work.
Right. That's what
And-
sleepwalk is a lot about. It's just like
Yeah.
trying to
Mhm.
make it work
Yeah.
when it's not working.
Yeah. And I really wanted to check it off the list while I sort of grew my career. And I thought, I just wanted, and I'm not good at dating. I'm not good at, I don't know. So I got married pretty young, to an actor in LA, and it took us forever to realize that it wasn't working. And then, I met Chris and we fell in love, and so, but I've really only been with two people in LA from like 1999 to now.
And I've
And-
never met Chris, but everyone I know who knows him says he's like the nicest, most like
He is.
like great person.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
I
Yeah,
hear
he's
that a lot.
He really
I'm so
is
glad
just
he-
the best.
He's a really good guy. I'm really lucky.
Everything you heard is completely true, and
Yeah.
people ask me that too. But yeah, he is the most amazing.
That
guy.
said, I've heard that about Tom Cruise. So it's you just don't know. The point is you just don't know.
And I know I've said this before on the podcast, but I asked him once, Chris, if it ever bothered him that I had been married before. And he said, "Baby, you were just chilling on ice."
Oh,
I know. That's enough to make your heart melt.
I know.
that is
Right? It's
melting.
very,
Yeah.
very, very sweet. Because, I don't know, maybe with some men it would bother them. I don't know.
I sometimes say
But-
to my wife, like, I'm not, just in case you're wondering, like, divorce is not, like, even entering the list of options in my brain ever, because my
Yeah.
parents have been married for 50 years unhappily. And so I just perceive that as the norm. So, like, I will stay here even if I'm unhappy. So you're going to have to call it or no one's going to call it. You know what I mean? Like, my wife's parents are divorced, and so I think sometimes she thinks that might be what is an option. But I'm like, literally, like, it's all I know is married Catholic parents, married for a zillion years and always angry at each other. That's all I know.
You're a good man.
Hey,
Thanks.
what's your parents' deal?
They're still married.
Still married? How long?
It'll be 50 years coming up here pretty soon. And they're amazing. They're, they bicker, but they're amazing. They still also giggle. They go like traveling. They're going to Egypt soon.
Oh,
And they're like, they really get a kick out of each other, especially if they've had a little wine. But
they're not in California, are they?
no, they're up in Seattle.
Seattle. That's where I'm going this week.
You are?
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
I'm showing the movie.
Awesome.
I'm
What
premiere-
theater?
Doing a Q&A in Portland. I'm doing Cinema 21. In Seattle, I'm doing the Uptown.
What
know that
day?
one?
No.
On Friday night. Yeah,
Hmm.
I can get them tickets if they want to go.
I bet they would love to.
That'd be great.
They would really love the movie.
They would
by the way.
love
They
that.
would love.
They would love the movie. Really?
It's great. I've had a lot of older folks like it lately, which is really fun. Like I had this guy stand up at a Q&A in New York City, and he goes, "I'm the oldest person in this room, and I wanted to hate it, but I loved it." And I was like, "What's your question?" He's like, "I don't have a question." But yeah, I'll get your parents tickets for the Friday night. I'm going this week to Denver, Portland, Seattle. I'm like carrying the movie like town to town. That's like part of my deal. I'm going to 30 cities.
By the way, can I just say I want to
cities, and you're here with us. Thank you.
Insane.
I want to point something out to our listeners. So, dear listeners, if you're listening right now, the movie, not only is it great, we've talked about that, but it also broke records for the best per screen average in the entire movie industry last week.
Yeah, for the year or whatever.
For the year.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
That's insane. We're talking about beating out the biggest movies around per screen. Yeah, I know. Listen. I'm trying to make it sound.
I appreciate it.
But it's a huge out of every single indie movie that gets released. You know, need a New York and LA like a platform release, and you expand from there.
Yeah.
You're basically what that means, everyone, is that every single screening that they've had has sold out. Yes, that's what it means.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Thanks,
it's incredible.
Sam.
It's incredible.
Thank you,
and
Sam.
you deserve it.
So if anyone's listening to this, I want to plug Sam as well. If you're on Tinder and you see a guy who's sort of like tall, dark, handsome, seems like nicer than anyone else on Tinder, you swipe left. Right on that.
Thank you.
Swipe right on that. Just know that he has a serious girlfriend. It probably won't work out.
I appreciate that.
Are you ready for next improv?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Now, you have been called into a general meeting
Okay.
with Karen Sarducci.
The head of Imaginarium Studios.
Yeah.
She runs Imagine Studios?
Imaginarium Studios.
Okay. It's a fake studio.
We work with Keegan Michael Key, by the way. Do you know him?
Yeah.
We work with him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you guys work with him?
Yeah. My assistant Donovan has to fill you in.
Sorry
you didn't come in educated.
Oh, hi. I'm Donovan, by the way.
Hi, Donovan. I'm
so
Mike.
are you here? So you're here to meet with Karen. Karen's really excited to meet you.
Yeah. I've heard so much about her.
She's a huge, Hollywood Reporter #7 most powerful in all of entertainment.
Oh my gosh, I got to read up on this stuff.
But she loves your movie.
Okay.
She loves both of your movies.
Oh, that's great.
She loves them. So she's ready to meet with you right now. And can I get you something to drink before you walk in?
Oh, just water would be great.
All right, here you go. Here's some water for you.
Thank you so much.
And Karen, Mike Birbiglia is here to see you.
Hi.
Karen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm very well. I'm Karen.
Oh,
Karen Sarducci.
Thanks for having me, Karen. I love so many of these movies that are on your wall.
Thank you. We're very, very, very proud.
Yeah.
So you're Italian.
Yes. I'm American Italian. But suburban Italian.
I'm Italian.
Olive Garden Italian. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm authentic Italian.
Oh, you're from Italy? You're born in Italy?
Sarducci.
Sarducci, Italy?
Well, our family is from a combination of Sardinia and Puglia.
Oh, wow.
So, yes. Anyway, but I know that you're Italian.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't feel getting informed by my work, really, because it's not like an Italian family, really. I mean, my mom's Irish, so she barely cooks, but.
I see. Well, congratulations on your recent success.
Thank you very much, Karen. Thanks.
Yes.
Did you see it?
I did. I did see it. Also, my children, Milo and Ventimiglia, also saw it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was your what did you relate to it? Because I
related to the dream.
Okay.
The dream of success.
Yeah.
Because that's something that when I was young, I always wanted the dream.
Yeah.
And now I've achieved it. So I related to that.
Yeah. So do you feel like, what do you want to do next now that you've achieved
Donovan?
Yes.
He's asking me a lot of questions.
Would you mind if she asks questions?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. I don't want you to feel intimidated or anything.
Sure.
But we were all just recently on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
We are in Reykjavik.
Oh, wow. Iceland.
Yes. You know your geography.
I'd like to go to Iceland. My wife and I always talk about that.
Reykjavik.
Donovan, shut the fuck up. So anyway, it was wonderful. But Milo was telling me what a fan of he is of yours. So is Ventimiglia.
Oh, your children.
Yes,
Okay.
they have their fingers on the pulse of Hollywood.
Okay.
And anyway, so we wanted to pitch a few ideas. On the way home, I was getting restless in my first class bed. Oh God! Well, the private plane wasn't working because fucking Donovan.
I asked for the
Donovan,
G5.
shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry, you got a Challenger.
But anyway, so Milo was telling me, he was pitching me a few movie titles that I
Okay.
wanted to throw past you.
As when you're pitching, like just the title, but not the movie itself?
Yes, that's right.
Well,
Okay.
we'd like you to come up with the
concept? Okay, sure.
plot, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah. Try.
Sleepwalk with Me 2, Time to Wake Up.
Well, I've always toyed with the idea of the sequel, but what's tricky about it is that it's in some ways there's nothing that comes after like the breakup of two people. Like the protagonists are Matt and Abby, and once they break up, you'd almost have to follow one of them over the other. And my character just kind of becomes a comedian, and he kind of finds his voice. And I don't know if that has enough conflict in it to be a film.
I wish you would think a little bit bigger. I mean, Time to Wake Up. What if there was a bomb? Ticking time
I just feel like
bomb.
that's sort of a different genre. Like I feel like what people would be coming for would be comedy, and I don't know.
We want to make this movie for like $80 million.
We can make it work. I mean, it's just like it's just I don't see it yet, but sure.
I want like
I'll kick that around on my
terrorism.
own.
I'm thinking, threat to society. Time to Wake Up. As a general wake up call
Sort
to
of like
society.
sort of like a Jason Bourne version of Sleepwalk with Me.
All right. So now we're getting on to number 2. Jason's Warn.
Jason's Warren. Is it a Jason Bourne sequel?
Yes.
So sort of.
But he's worn out.
So sort of like a tired Matt Damon, sort of like an exhausted Matt Damon. Like we could shoot it all in the mornings. We could shoot like 3 a.m. to noon kind of thing, and he could seem tired in every scene. And
he's addicted to Ambien. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's something there.
Okay. Do you have any more thoughts?
I mean, I think you'd want to give that to someone like Joss Whedon or.
So you're not the man for the job?
I don't know. I just don't know if that's my genre.
Do you want to work with Imaginarium Studios?
Look, I really enjoy the films that you guys have made. I thought King Kong 9 was good.
It was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're the movies that I want to make, but I really like you guys.
We have a couple more.
Okay.
I think we have one more.
Donovan?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to help. I'm sorry.
Overstepping.
I like him though.
I know you do.
Donovan, I think I have I met you on Tinder?
Maybe.
Are you on Tinder?
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into Donovan's personal life. This last one is something that I will need you to keep top secret.
I'm sorry, because you seem like really nice. Like you're nicer than like your typical Hollywood dudes.
I don't want to talk about Tinder.
Sorry.
What's going on?
Nothing.
What am I not picking up on?
We may have.
Well, we met briefly. We went for drinks.
Donovan?
Well, he's married. I didn't want to say anything.
I'm experimenting with.
I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know anything. You keep your life private. You keep your life private.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Titanic 3. The Wood Raft. Let Me On. Now, listen,
like that.
I'm going to be the character that Kate Winslet plays, Rose. Okay, so now we're going to do a little experimental dialogue.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind being Jack attempting to get onto the raft.
Wait.
And that way we can sort of brainstorm where it goes from
So
there.
The piece of wood. The piece of wood.
Titanic 3. Does it jump over 2? Like
Well,
no, there's no 2.
The Titanic 2, we've already released that. It was Titanic 2, Let's Get High. Keegan-Michael Key was.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So Titanic 3
You know Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah. Keegan-Michael Key is a close friend.
Right. You guys did a movie together.
We did Don't Think Twice, yeah.
Right.
So, okay, so you're Rose, and I'm
Rose.
Jack. And there's a final piece of wood that we're on.
I'm on my piece of wood,
Kind of like Life of Pi.
and you want to get on. We're in the middle of
Okay.
the,
Okay, the ocean.
Arctic Ocean.
Yeah,
Like Northern Atlantic,
okay,
pre-global warming.
okay.
So things are really cold.
Rose.
Hi, Jack.
Rose.
Hi, Jack. Listen, I just don't know if there's enough room. There's not enough room. Oh, I know. Oh my gosh, you're getting a little water on me. Please stop. Please stop.
I'm nearly dead.
No, listen, but thank you so much. Can you please get your fingers, just scoot them over just a little bit closer to the edge?
My finger's falling off.
I know this is hard.
So cold.
I know. Is there any way you could sort of paddle me over to the boats?
I'm going to try.
Is there any way? Oh my God. Will you please fucking grow some nuts? Jack, this fucking sucks for me. Do you have any idea what this is doing to me? I am cold. This is not pleasant. Paddle me over to one of those fucking lifeboats now. Now. Kick harder. If you kicked harder, your blood would warm up. Now fucking kick harder. Do you know people swam the English Channel? Do you know that?
Who?
Oh my God. Do you love me or do you love me not?
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm so
fucking
cold.
kick. I'm cold
so
too.
cold.
I'm really cold too. I'm in a fucking corset. All right? Now fucking kick, dick.
Kick. And scene. That was a scene within a scene within a scene.
Kick, dick.
Kick, dick. With a great callback to Sim's dating life.
I know. I love that. I wasn't expecting to be part of that. That was great.
I want to send a shout out to Amy, who I've not met. Just say, like, you won. You won Tinder.
By the way, I'm so flattered right now. You are my favorite guest of all time.
When are you going to propose?
Right now, I'd love to propose to you.
What's happening?
I don't know,
This
but I really
podcast
do
is
love.
getting away from me.
I really do
am
love
no
Mike
longer in
Birbiglia.
control.
I love this guy so much. What do you want to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll call some of our listeners?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
That sounds
good. Let's
awesome.
do it.